early. It was like, it's too early to go live.
Don't do it.
And we did it.
You're too early.
It did. It honestly was like, are you sure you want to go live? It's not time yet. What are you doing?
Oh, because I still have my audio set from earlier.
This is why we don't go early.
So we shouldn't be peaking. Yeah. Okay, that should be okay.
All right.
We'll see. Yeah, we also have a mic delay on this time. We're going to try that, see if our mouths match up better.
Wait, what did you do?
We're trying that now.
What did you do?
We have an audio delay.
Okay.
So the computer is going to shift the audio and the video a little bit, and we're hopefully going to line up better. I highly doubt this is going to work because that's how it works for us. Things never work. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Also, the white balance is horrible. Hang on.
What are you doing?
White balance is not on. Hang on.
I know.
There you go.
We're on time.
Look at that. I'm like half set up.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Look, we found this. Mm-hmm. Boom. There you go, Rob. Alicia.
Matt, you made it to a live chat for once. It's good. Welcome.
Me?
No, there's other people named Matt.
like,
Matthew.
I'm here. Usually I'm here.
More delay.
Really? How? Even more? Can I turn it off? You change it. Well, 6, half as much delay. Is that better?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. This is like.
I got much, much worse. We do no delay.
That's what we usually do.
Feels like that's the right option.
Well, I guess we'll have to go back and see if it gets better.
Well, I can change it, right? You can turn it off.
Yeah, turn it off. See what happens.
And now, there is no delay.
Now
just the normal delay.
More delay.
Audio's fine.
So I don't know. Maybe it was fine. So
oh, no, it's gone. I can't get it back. It just disappeared.
There's your syncing. Let's see what happens. Wait, how do I do this again? Every single time I forget how to do this. Is it up first? And then down. There we go, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is pretty easy.
I like this thing.
Okay, I have eyeballs, and that was scary.
It doesn't shoot.
Yeah, but it felt like it in my heart.
In my heart of hearts. I felt
So what are we
shooting.
drinking today? What is this?
This is a rosé because it's getting hot out. I'm all sweaty because I was outside.
Because you were quite literally playing with your new toy.
No, that was this morning.
What were you doing then today?
Moving the sawmill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember? The thing has been sitting in your driveway since March 25th?
I'm just so used to just trash everywhere now that it doesn't even...
That saw is not trash.
You know what I mean.
That saw is very valuable to me. It has shaped my entire life.
It has. That's good.
Also, the
Fancy pants.
The camera's crooked too, so there's that.
Well, I don't want it to be like too fancy. I think we've already decided.
We're a little bit on a slant here.
We've already decided that this is not going to be too serious.
People said they liked the not too serious.
I like it too. I think that they miss. You did not probably explain what your.
I'm really bad at explaining things.
Like what you meant by like more structured was still nothing of reality of being like, but more being like, all right, we're going to talk about every week something.
A topic.
A topic. Maybe a little bit more.
Or like actual questions.
We sometimes get actual questions.
I mean, like, here's the questions that we're going to answer this week.
Oh.
And like, they'd be like transcribed and like in the description of the video with a timestamp so you know where to find them. Mm-hmm. I'm just like coming up with more work for myself.
Yeah, yeah. Says the man who just spent, how long were you outside? Like, not snowmobiling, I'm used to saying that. Mowing your lawn?
Just for an hour.
Just another hour. Yeah.
I edited this morning, and then I went and mowed for a bit. Then I came back in for a bit on the computer, and then I went and moved the sawmill to finish that video. And now it's this time. That was my day.
That's not bad. Hey, so...
Finishing videos.
Well, hi, Robert from Delaware. How's it
Hello.
going? Jack from Wisconsin, he watched your video on that honey locust. Very nice. So, where is that thing?
The log?
Yeah, it's in the back somewhere.
With all the other ones.
Did you move that recently?
The honey locust? I moved that in December, I think.
This one of the first ones you moved to the house? New house?
It was, when was that snowstorm? I posted a little like clip of me on Instagram. I was in the trailer and it was like the snow was rolling in.
I don't know.
I think it was December.
I don't know.
It was that time.
Okay.
Whenever that was. It's like one of the first things because it's smaller.
Okay.
Because it was like all the stuff I cut last fall, I didn't stack anywhere. I left it in the driveway because I knew I was going to move it anyway. You haven't listening.
Yes, I am.
You're just kind of like, yeah, next.
Well, I mean, I don't have anything to like add to it because it's slabs, and what you said all makes sense. Why would you move it twice?
You heard it first. Something I did make sense.
Don't be that kind of person, that kind of husband where it's like, my wife
Too
always
late.
says wah wah.
She always says wah wah. She's a big crybaby, wah wah.
That's you. Oh, funny. All right.
Oh, funny.
What?
Oh, funny.
Oh, funny. What mower?
Now I gotta remember which one it is.
I assumed you were memorize it because you're just obsessed with it. I like this though from Dave. New mower equals warm weather snowmobile. Basically,
That's basically what it is.
Yes.
And I'm just driving around.
Yes.
Like, because I was just going to drive it around, and, like, make a trail and just, like, drive it in circles. So I'm like,
Right,
if
like
I'm
an
gonna,
actual trail.
if I'm going to drive it around, I might as well have the deck going and cut the grass.
How many acres did you cut?
Total so far?
Yeah.
Oh, 5.
Oh, I felt like so much more.
I don't think you understand how big this property is.
I don't think I do either.
Yeah, well, maybe 6 at the most.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of getting up there. It's a Ferris Z3X.
I don't know. It stands up. A lot of
It's
people are
an
like,
SRS ZX3 or something like that.
I just feel like several people were confused,
Z3X.
including my mother, like why it wasn't a sitting lawnmower. Because a lot of times when you think like a riding lawnmower, you think sitting on it and you're just standing.
So, I mean, my skid steer is standing.
I know.
So I think people kind of forget that
Okay.
exists with the feedback I've gotten on the mower.
Okay.
I love we're talking about mowers now. So anything you stand on versus sit down, if you have to be on and off the machine a lot, that is far more convenient.
Right.
So since we have kids and I leave crap laying around the yard,
They do.
I have
And both of you do.
I get on and off the machine frequently to move stuff out of the way. So I like that a lot. The same reason for the skid steer, because I'm on and off the machine all the time, moving things out of the way or putting things on the forks or whatever. The other thing you get with the stand-on is better visibility, because you can just you can turn, you can see behind you. You got unencumbered motion for
Right.
getting your eyeballs wherever. Same thing as the skid steer. The other thing with it, through my research, is you have better side hill performance, so you're less likely to slide down the hill sideways on the standing ones because the center of gravity is lower and wider stance or something like that. I don't know. But we've got a lot of hills. There's like no flat area here.
Yeah, we got a lot of hills.
So I was like, well, the hill is like the crux of the sitting zero turn. So I don't know. Plus, I think it's a little bit easier on your back because instead you sit like you're in a seat, like your back is compressing the whole time,
Yeah.
and you're standing like your knees are bent, so your knees are absorbing some of the shock too, and the machine has a suspension too. So I don't know. Plus, I sit all the time. Like, why do I want to go sit outside if I can sit inside all day on the computer?
I think Jamie is also my mother because it says the best mowing comes in white and goes bah. That's what my mom wanted. She's like, just get goats, which I don't. That's a little sheep, but that's what my mom wanted.
Here's the thing with goats.
They eat a lot of other stuff too.
Like, you got to take care of them.
Well, they're naughty. What I've heard is that like goats are mischievous. It's not like, I don't know, the different barn animals that, you know, you obviously have to take care of like a horse, of course, but
Here's the thing with the mower. Like, I can put it in the barn, and I can leave it there all week,
yeah.
and I don't have to worry about it. And when I come back, it'll still be alive.
Well, alive.
It won't be dead.
Alive. Oh, funny. All right, wait.
Vacation.
That's just a
worry
big like vacation about getting like chickens and stuff. It's like I don't have to worry about that, which I get, but we already have pancake.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's enough. So from Kyle, did I have court today? My makeup looks great. Well, thank you, but no, I did not. I just had we have a meeting.
I just had a meeting.
Well, no, my office, the litigation team, which is what I'm on, we have a meeting by Zoom every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just like a check-in to be like, what's everyone
It's
doing?
in the morning.
Yeah, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday we have a meeting.
I think it meant like this afternoon or something.
No, I didn't have a meeting this afternoon.
Psh, I don't want to talk to you on Friday afternoon.
Actually, usually Friday afternoon for some reason, I think it encourages people to like email their lawyers and be like, so, have this problem.
Well, yeah, they're like, I'm not going to be here all weekend, so I'm not going to be able to let you know about this. So
Right.
if I let you know now,
it counts for Monday.
By the time I get back in the office on Monday, it'll be done.
Like they'll be like, so it'll be like 4 o'clock, and they'll be like, sorry, this is a rush. And then like they'll forward you a chain and like the email, you'll be like, it's interesting, you got this rush thing like, you know, a
3
month
days ago.
Yeah. But it's kind of
Now it's a rush because you waited.
It's always like an ongoing thing. It's like, okay, it's Friday at like 3:30. Is there going to be a fire drill? So far not
Back
this
on
one.
the frame there. There we go. That's good this year.
What's good?
This one.
Yes, this is Empathy Wine.
Very watermelon.
It's one of the wine clubs that we're in, and they send. We're in the 3 bottle. You can get like different bottle numbers, and
We're not the 12 ballers.
we're not the 12 ballers now. But they will send it every I would say season, but it's not true. It's only 3 times a year. You get a red and a rosé.
Yeah. It's no winter.
No winter one,
Yeah.
but I like it. It was good,
It was good. It is good. I like it.
right? I like this. From a nup. Hello from Queens. My wife gets annoyed when I watch your slapping videos, however. Probably because she's like, why is this interesting? That's what I say.
I know that. I got more coming.
Yeah, you have like 8 more. Lot.
Like actual cutting videos? 4. Wait. 3.
Speaking of cutting videos,
3 cutting videos.
How do you decide how to lay a log to get the best lumber from Norm?
It's like, I don't want to say educated. It's not quite educated.
Just a guess.
It's like a solid guess. That's like the fun thing about cutting logs too. Is like 2 people can look at a log and they'll cut them 2 different ways. And the other thing too is like you can never, once you make a decision on which way to cut it, you can never go back
Right.
because it's already cut.
Because you've already committed.
Yeah. So a lot of it's just like, I guess is probably like the best way to describe it. If you cut enough things and you kind of notice the patterns, you can kind of see how the wood's going to present itself on the face just by looking at the log. So the more things you cut, the better you get at that, and the more you understand like what you like to see in the finished wood versus someone else's taste. Which is
But how
why,
can you see that? It's covered with bark.
Yeah, but you know what it's going to look like because you're just exposing a bunch of concentric rings. That's all you're doing, exposing them different ways.
So if you look at it from the bot, like, so here's my
Here's
my
your
log. I'm looking right here and saying like, how's that look? Okay, I like this. I'm going to flip it this way.
Yeah, you're also
Is that
looking
what
at
you're
what's
doing?
going on like along here, along the length of it too. Because
But there's bark in
you
the
could have a
way.
limb, or you can have like a
okay.
nubbin, or you can see some kind of like undulation, so there's some curl there. So you want to cut that to expose some curl. So a lot of it's really literally like being able to read the grain from the outside of the tree, which just takes a lot of logs to look at.
And then you're like, I know what that thing means. And it means a wiggle smush.
Yeah, and then some people are like, I don't like that wiggle smush in my boards, so I'm going to cut it a different way to eliminate it completely. So my wiggle smush is gone,
God. In which case I say, silly you.
which is kind of fun. Well, I don't know, like traditional sawyers would get rid of all the wiggle smushes.
Okay, but how do they know? Okay, so then they're like, I guess how do you know where do you want to put it? If you're cutting this and it's right here's the good part, do you put it up or do you put it to the side? Like if it's to the side, they don't see it then, right? Because it's in the side of the wood.
It would be in the side, yeah.
So it's like if I like it, I put it on top or on bottom, I guess. But you don't put it on the sides.
It would depend on what the defect you're trying to eliminate is. But yes, so you can either, so if the defects, well, where we're talking about, on the side or the top, on the side you would have a defect that presents itself in all the boards all the way down, but only on like the edge.
Right.
If you put it up, the defect will present itself in the middle of the board, but only for the first few boards, and then it would be gone because you're past the defect.
Right.
So it's like 2 ways to think about it. So if you want to have some figure from the defect, like in the case of a limb, you would turn it to the side because that would expose some crotch figure, some compression figure or something. But if you want to get rid of it, you can put it up and you'll have some crappy boards, traditionally crappy boards.
Right. Or at least boards that you don't like necessarily.
Yeah, right. And then you're down to like the good traditional stuff, which has no defects because you've eliminated it.
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's see.
And if you're doing like sawing for grade, you make your squared up, and then you would face a single time. So then you're constantly turning this thing.
All right, from Art, how much weight is off your shoulders now that the other place is sold?
Oh, I'll be even better when it's actually sold.
Yeah, so we're under contract. It closes May 28th. So knock on everything.
But generally a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the fact that it was sold, it's the fact that it was on the market. And I'm done with, for the most part, I still have a few things to move, but like, I'm done moving things. I'm done fixing things and like cleaning things and putting stuff back together and all that stuff.
Right. And like now the big worry is just like, oh, we need to just go out there to mow the lawn. But that's it. It wasn't like we had to go out there. We have to mow the lawn. We have to clean the, all this stuff that we had to do.
Get my forklift out of there.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been a lot better. I've been able to focus a lot more.
Yeah.
On things that actually, things that actually matter, I guess.
Well, matter
no,
for your
that
business.
does matter, but like
for your business.
Things I want to actually focus on.
Right.
Versus things I have to focus on.
Right.
And doesn't really move my business forward at all.
Well, because the thing is, like, for Matt, because like I tell him all the time and he hates hearing, like, I have a boss. He doesn't have a boss. So what that means is that if he wants to have a weekend or, he can rearrange his time. So he was spending what was normal his work hours at the house.
Yeah, and my weekends.
Right. Well, both. But the thing was, like, I was losing some of my weekends, sure. But, like, I did actually take, like, 3-4 days off to get everything kind of figured out. But, for Matt, he took way more than 4 days off to do it. So
25? I think is what kind of came out to.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a lot. So how old is the new house? One is only around 250 years. What? Which is compared to my parents' place, which is over. Are these real numbers?
Yeah, it's probably like someone in the UK or in Europe or something.
1,100 years old is newish.
That's someone in Europe.
Oh my gosh. It's probably like a really cool house though. I'd probably like it.
I would probably hate it.
And I would like it. See, I like old houses. Matt likes
because you don't have to think about like, running utilities.
Yeah, that's crazy. This house was built when? 60s?
60 something, yeah.
And then they renovated in 2000 something. 10. And then we are in the process of starting renovations on the next one.
In the process of starting.
So, yeah, when to begin on the new house from Robert. What's the game plan?
I don't think we have an actual start date yet because we're still in the planning phase. But I think we'll probably start in July.
I hope so.
Maybe I might start in June.
Yeah.
And start prepping.
The nice thing is, like, since he's going to be there every day, like, Matt is suddenly going to change from, I feel like, being a content creator for woodworking, and he'll be also a content creator for home renovations. Is honestly what's going to happen.
There's be some woodworking.
Well,
make some trim.
Well, I know, it's both, but what I'm saying is, like, there'll be a lot of videos about, here's me knocking
Taking the roof off his house.
Yeah.
With my buddy. And my telehandler.
Right.
Pulling the whole roof off.
Gosh.
Should be fun. But yeah, I'll probably. I'm guessing I'll do some of the prep stuff. So like I'll remove the decks because that's straightforward.
Right. That's not something that's like wild that you can do.
It's pulling screws up. Yeah, it's gotta get done.
Right.
Start digging the foundation holes. Get going.
Right. Get it moving.
Once we get the actual like, here's the general idea of what you actually decided on, since that's kind of still fluid.
Yeah. So downside of the new house, no swamp. Although now we have a creek that the boys love to go run to, and
luckily it's kind of far away.
Shoes in.
It's further, so it's
more deliberate. They have to make like an intention, like we're
like
going to the creek.
50 times further than the swamp.
Yeah.
Like legitimately.
Right. Yeah. And
Which is
the only
crazy.
now difference is thanks to Matt's, I'm trying to think of the right word, telehandler. I was going to use a negative connotation in front of it.
Buddy, assistant.
Makes
Brutus.
holes that Matt has already started fixing, but not fast enough. So the boys and Eloise play in the mud. So now instead of like swamp babies, we have mud babies, which is really hard to clean sometimes.
They like playing in the ruts.
Yeah, big time. Oh, they love it.
They're deep.
They're like, that's why they like them, because it's like, well, to their like little weight, like higher than their little weight. Like, you can't see me. Like this.
Yeah, they get down there.
Yeah, for them. So.
We'll have to work on that.
Yeah. You have to do that immediately. Oh, okay. Here's a woodworking question. Matt, what is one tree you dream of sawing on your machine?
There's so many.
They're listed,
All
dude.
the ones I haven't sawn before.
Oh my gosh, this is where JR gets it. So like for Christmas, you'll be like, JR, what do you want for Christmas? And he'll go, all of the toys.
No, but really, like that's what I enjoy. I like the ones that don't grow here. Because it's like a new experience.
Right.
Every time. And especially like weird things that most people have never seen sawn. It's kind of exciting to me too.
Right, because you haven't either seen it.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, let's do this together.
And also to help like this spell, this thing that people have that not all wood is usable or something like that.
Right, where you're like, actually, this wood is. Which this is a really good segue to like provide clarification on what you do.
I'm ready.
Matt, do you ever feel like you're hurting the environment when cutting down trees?
I don't really cut down trees.
Yeah, so that's probably a misnomer.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, like, yeah, these trees are being removed, but they're like someone's yard tree. They're like in someone's yard. They might be having it removed for insurance purposes.
Or they're dead. Like the one we cut down the other day, it was a dead tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tiny one.
I know, but you cut it down. It was on my little Instagram, and it was a lot louder than it let on video. In person, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that one did not want to go over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not really, because again, it's like you got to think about it like as like a waste saving thing, because otherwise, a lot of the trees that used to be cut would be disposed of. Like
chipped in a wood chipper.
Which is fine too, because then it gets like, yeah, I mean, it gets like biodegraded in that sense, and that's needed, but I mean, otherwise, chipped or burned. So you're putting carbon back into the environment that way, in both those cases. I don't know. So I don't really think about it.
Well, but also you're not going and cutting down. Like right now, they're doing this project by our house where they're expanding the highway, and I'm very sad about it because they cut down a heck of a lot of trees. And you're not doing stuff like that where you're like, hey.
No, but those were all chipped.
No, I know. What I'm saying in general is like you're not going and cutting down an otherwise healthy tree because you're like, this is a really cool cherry tree, and look at that burl. I want it. Give it to me.
No, but in that case, like I would have taken those trees and done something with them.
Well, that I agree. I think for me, the sadness is that they even cut them down in the first place. They could have just sat there and been happy, and I would have been happier.
But where's your road going to go?
I don't need it. It's fine.
You don't need a road?
It's fine.
You don't need infrastructure?
What we had worked just fine for me. All right, from Tim, what's the hardness zone you are in?
Hardness?
I assumed that was like...
Hardiness zone. Oh. Like the growing zone. I think, what are we, like 4?
Like
I don't know what zone we're in.
I don't know.
I don't remember these things. 3? Are we that far north? 3 maybe?
You act like I've seen this zone, like map, and I was like, no, I have no idea what you're even talking about. I didn't even know there was a zone. I'm learning right now. Tim is informing me on something I had no idea. You're looking up right now.
Yeah, we're like zone 3. Or
Okay.
4 maybe.
All right.
We're in zone 4.
Zone 4.
4.
Answer. Look at that.
But I'm not going to go into more detail on if it's zone 4A before we see.
Oh my goodness, it does that? Wow, okay.
Yeah, I just had the main picture up.
Okay.
Zone 4 something.
4 and some change. Where'd it go? I just saw it. Oh, here we go. From Brad. Hey Matt, what is the best thing till the end grain on stumps?
Stumps. Like on like logs though? I'm assuming logs. I use anchor seal. You can use really like there's like basically anything is significantly better than doing nothing. Latex paint's okay. I would say like if like anchor seal's like your best 100% level, paint is probably like 75%, 80% there, something like that. So like there's like a marginal gain. I've heard people using like watered down glue, like, wood glue, anything that just keeps the moisture from coming out there. Wax is fine too. Anchor seals and emulsified wax. That's all it is. I like it that it dries clear. That's the biggest thing for me, because then you can still see the end grain, so you know where the pith is, and you know where all the, you can align it better for sawing later on, because you haven't actually covered the growth rings in paint.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You still see it.
All right, from Mike. After you start working on a project, how do you feel like you slab or board continuing to move after you flatten then dimension? I keep flattening it to a width less than I wanted. It's like that's what I do when I sand. And then I was like, shoot, now I've over sanded. And then you're stuck because you can't add on.
I don't usually have issues with stuff moving after it's been flattened. So if you have that issue, it's either the fact that the tree itself had a lot of stress in it when it was growing, and then the stress is still in it as you're trying to work with it, or it's not dried enough, or it's dried too much for where you're working. So that board, when you start working on it, is not at equilibrium. Another little trick that you can do if you, like, for instance, if I flatten a board and plane it and everything, and I haven't had time to cut joinery on it yet, I gotta leave it overnight or something, I will stack them face together and then put them on top of it so they don't get any airflow. That way they don't absorb any moisture or let any moisture off, and they can't move, and they don't move. Once you have your joinery cut, it doesn't really matter anymore because the joinery will pull everything back into flat. If you're doing a justice or a case piece where you have a dovetailed box, dovetailed case, once the dovetails are cut, when you put the dovetails together, it will pull all that stuff back into flat again. So it's really that critical time between the time you mill your boards to the time you have your joinery cut that really matters. After that, it doesn't really matter. Your joinery should pull it all back in true.
There you go. All right, from Nicholas. I was milling legs for the garden bench, and I noticed a stress crack on the foot. Can I put a bunch of epoxy on it, or should I get more lumber and start over? Wood is expensive right now.
I just do the epoxy, personally.
That's what you would do. Yeah, I was like, you don't usually ever start over except for the one time you made the same foot twice.
Well, that's different. I made 2 left feet or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
That one's kind of hard to recover from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just fill that with epoxy and call it good. If it's on the bottom of the foot too, like in the garden bench series, we talk about putting the little epoxy on the end grain for the foot anyway. So you could do both those at the same time, really. The stress crack goes all the way to the end grain.
So there you go.
Fix it.
Fixed it.
Epoxy fixes everything.
Yeah. All right, this is from Artie. Hey, Matt, any tips for moving a 300 kilogram slab of red gum to my workshop in the backyard? 50 yards-ish.
That's really heavy.
Do you get that he knows those things because, you're from Canada, so those kilograms.
What, kilograms?
You're like, yeah, that makes...
That's like 700 pounds.
Yeah, see, to me, I mean, it's terrible, but I have no idea, but you know immediately.
I mean, that's a huge... I guess I don't know how dense red gum is, but where is it right now? Like, what's the starting position?
It says 500 yards.
Yeah, but is it in the back of the truck? Is it already on the ground?
Let's say yeah. Probably.
How would you rollers? Just get some PVC, some pipe. Like, if you're going over grass, you want some bigger diameter stuff. If it's like concrete or something, you can go smaller diameter and save some money. You just chop those into like roller lengths, whatever they need to be, however wide your slab is. And you can just roll it the whole way there.
Yeah, you've done that a couple times.
I've done that many times.
I've seen you do that.
Quite a lot of times. If it's up in the air still, like on your truck, you could also get some furniture dollies if your ground is not uneven, I guess. So if you're going over concrete or hard-packed ground already, you can get away with furniture dollies with casters. Otherwise, just some rollers is easy enough. I mean, it'll take you a little while because you gotta like push it a while, bring the rollers from the back and put them in the front again and keep going, but get there.
Yeah.
Just a while. Before I had the trailer with the lift thing on it, that's how I moved all the slabs.
Yeah.
With rollers.
I remember that through the backyard.
Yep, just put the rollers down.
To the back where you then stack them.
And then I would stack them. Then I would stack them with a chain hoist and a come along, one by one.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
then I'm like, I have this trailer now. I can fit it all up with the arch and drive it wherever.
Yeah.
And then I got a skid steer. And I would telehandler.
Oh, starting position is actually vertical in garage.
Oh. Okay, so the hardest part about that
Apparently that's a whole new one that you're like, never mind.
is going to be getting it to not be vertical anymore. Mm-hmm. If it's in the garage and you have access to the rafters, you can use the rafters as a way to mount, a come along or a winch or a pulley or a chain hoist or something like that to allow you to slowly and gracefully have it come down. So there's that. I wouldn't really recommend trying to lay it down alone.
No, you could die.
If the garage door is tall enough and the ground conditions are right, you can walk it the whole way there. I've done that too.
Yeah, he walks stuff all the time.
It's just a matter of doing this with the slab. It works. It just takes a little while, and you need some. It needs to be on like concrete or asphalt or like gravel or something. Otherwise, if you try and do that on grass, you'll have like the corner like sink in, and then once it starts going over, just like a tree, get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about that walking method is if it's gonna go over, don't even try and save it. Just get out of there.
Save yourself.
Yeah.
Just save yourself.
Just like when you drop a tree. Leave the saw and get out of there. Mm-hmm. It's all possible though.
From John, I painted my garage floor, but I didn't videotape it. Come on, dude.
You did it wrong. You did it wrong. How are we going to know all the things you did wrong?
Oh, that's funny. All right. Any tips for milling a root ball? What the heck is that?
Like the actual root.
It's a little ball?
That's just what it's called. Like the.
Is it cute? Does it look like a mandrake baby? That's what I think. Does anyone know what
it
that
looks
means?
like the base of the
Do you
tree.
even know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
A mandrake baby? It's from Harry Potter.
I don't do Harry Potter. You know that. Why you even ask me?
You should know. You should know. It's Harry Potter.
So root ball just kind of like a burl. It depends on the overall like shape and style of wood you're trying to go for. Mm-hmm. So I don't really have any good like. This is the way to do it because it depends on what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And a lot of with the root ball sawing stuff is like, what kind of shape are you after? Like, do you want a teardrop or you want like a circle thing?
Okay.
If you want a teardrop, you want to cut it with the root ball like laying down. So you essentially have like the trunk and then the root ball and it kind of closes. Mm-hmm. So you have that kind of teardrop-ish shape or like raindrop shape, whatever. Mm-hmm. If you cut it as the tree grew, so perpendicular to that, cross-cutting it like cookies, then you get up like kind of circle shapes.
That's cool.
So
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm learning something today. I feel like is the most I've learned about woodworking.
We got some good questions this time.
Yeah,
I think like last week, like, oh, they're taking this seriously. We should ask questions.
That you've never before when I'm around. I'm sure you.
I answer a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. I think that might be the first time I've ever answered a root ball question.
And now that I know a root ball exists, now I'm like, you have to get one and make it look like a little mandrake
Perfect.
baby.
I'm going to get myself an excavator so I can dig one out.
No. I am good.
I can go around and dig out root balls.
I'm going to go borrow Kevin's. That's what's going to happen.
Who's Kevin?
He's the one who asked the question.
Oh.
Jesus. All right.
Why does Kevin have an excavator?
I don't know. Maybe he already has one. Maybe he works in construction. Maybe.
I work in construction now.
No, you don't. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Take an excavator.
All right. From Roger. Oops. Hey guys, I'm only looking for a drum sander. Have you or do you have one, and do you have an opinion on them? Seems to be differing opinions depending on who you talk to.
I have the Jet 1632, which Lindsay bought me right before we got engaged.
That was not
Coincidence?
right before.
Yes.
First of all, he's a liar. It was not right before we got engaged.
Yeah,
that was your engagement present.
No, it wasn't. We weren't engaged yet. You bought it from me in October. I proposed to you in January.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I said yes.
You sealed the deal.
Yeah, okay.
You made sure that I married you.
Okay.
This is the life you could have. Tools just show up at your house.
Yeah, oh man. That's all I ever wanted.
And look at you now. See what you started.
Look what I did. I thought, you know what, it'd be really cool to have lots of these kind of tools. Maybe I'll trick him into marrying me so I get all of them.
I mean, yeah, we were married, so you own all these things too. So there's that.
All right, actually, the question though.
I think the issue that a lot of people have with them is the fact that they're open-ended, so they have the tendency, they say they have a tendency to deflect and deform. So as you're putting it through, because it's not supported on one side, the whole head can have a tendency to kind of pivot and make it the sand uneven. I've never really had a problem with that. I don't know what people are complaining about. I think if you're deflecting the head that much, you're taking way too heavy of a pass. You're asking the sandpaper to do too much, and then it's going to deflect. One thing you can do is, I use mine a lot for like surfacing or like dimensioning, kind of like a really slow planer. On the last pass, if you run the thing through a second time without changing the head setting, that'll actually clean things up a lot, and it actually removes a lot of the roughness in the scratch pattern and makes a finer scratch pattern, which will save you time later when you go to actually do your finish sanding. So I think that tip probably will save a lot of that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I've never really had a whole lot of like, this is so bad. It keeps flexing.
Issues. I've used it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just don't. It's you gotta understand, like the drum sanders, like the one I have, extremely underpowered for what it is.
What do you mean?
Like the motor for what you're doing. If you're trying to do the full width pass, 16 inches with a 1.5 horse motor, that's not enough power to actually churn through that much material. So you have to take ridiculously small passes so you don't burn your sandpaper and so you don't flex the head, I guess. So be realistic. It's one of the things I would really want manufacturers to do would be like to make an actual real drum sander with like a real motor in it. Instead of trying to like cater to the audience of, I only have 110 volt power in my shop.
Oh, right.
So we have the biggest motor you can have on 110 volt. Give me one like that size with a 5 horse motor. Then we're talking.
All right, well, it was a gift I gave you. So John's like, drum sander gift, how romantic. So don't be talking bad about my gift.
That was a good gift. What are you talking about?
Saying, doesn't have enough horsepower. It's got all the horsepower it needs.
Just like me.
Oh, God. Oh, that's funny. All right, here's a woodworking question from Tom.
Well, that's one woodworking question.
Yeah, I know. And this one is too.
Oh, that's good.
Still is. Still
We're
on
still
that
on the
vein. They
woodworking
still
topic.
think you're a woodworker, even though I don't know when you've last woodworked. So
I was working on that chest of drawers
Yeah,
like
look-
2 months ago.
I look at it and I'm like, I don't think it's changed.
It hasn't.
Yeah.
I've been trying to sell a house, and then now I've been editing videos for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know when he's doing that.
I'm
next.
almost caught up.
Almost.
15 videos.
Shoot.
Get ready for it.
You're just going to drop them one at a time? Or are you going to do like Netflixy? Drop them all. You can't do that. You
I
can't.
ain't doing that. No one watch them all.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you can't do that because it's not Netflix. It's YouTube.
So the patrons will get them early.
Oh, there you go. They already have some, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so back to Tom. What tool would you use to do a half turn a few 100/150 kilograms?
I'm going to have to read this because you don't seem to be...
Yeah, I'm not saying it.
What tool
Probably.
would you use to do a half turn?
Stop before the grassy turn. Turn it. Finish cutting. I feel like this is...
What?
I feel like Matt doesn't know the answer, and so Tom, you finally stumped him. 'Cause oh, man.
I don't...
He can't help you. You could
Is this like a sawing question?
Well, we're going to have to follow up on this, so we need some follow-up. All right. You got it or no?
I don't know what the question is,
All right.
unfortunately.
Matt can't do it. All right. But here's a question from another Matt. Maybe he only goes by Matthew, though, so I should be careful. All right.
Dude, don't make assumptions.
I call everyone by all nicknames. Nicknames are my favorite thing.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, like, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. All right. What's the best way to mix concrete if I don't have a wheelbarrow for a shed foundation? A big old bucket.
If you don't have a wheelbarrow, a concrete mixer
God.
would be the way to do it.
Okay. How about...
Remember how many bags of concrete we mixed with that Harbor Freight
Oh, my gosh.
concrete
Actually,
cement mixer thing?
That wasn't super expensive, I don't think, either. It's Harbor Freight.
$165. That was 10 years ago. I don't know what it costs now. That was the best thing we ever bought, I think.
Oh, my gosh. We mixed so much.
I sold it for $100.
Yeah, so it was actually not a bad turn on investment.
Hundreds and hundreds of bags of concrete
yeah.
and mortar. Yeah. You can buy a mixing tub. Like it's basically just like a Tupperware thing. We have one of those too for mixing small batches of mortar. You could do that. The tub thing.
I think he's talking about turning for logs. What tool would you use to do for a log? To saw a fourth of it, stop before the grossi, turn it, and then finish cutting. So you cut your log 3/4 the way it's done. You want to stop, and you want to turn it, and then keep going.
Like to actually turn the log?
Can you do that with your little pulley thing?
Like a cant hook?
Yeah.
A cant hook.
Hand hook.
Is that the answer?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Also, okay, Jamie says you can also mix concrete on a sheet of plywood. Well, I think plywood's like super expensive now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it on a sheet of plywood.
No.
That sounds expensive, yeah.
Well, I don't know where Jamie is, but where we are, it's like $1 gajillion for plywood or something.
Yeah, it's not really disposable anymore.
Yeah. Now it's like, it's kind of crazy.
This is what you do. You get a piece of plywood. You get a sheet of plastic. You put the plastic on the plywood, and you mix it that way.
So you can save it.
Yeah. Or you can make some kind of mixing bowl out of some thick plastic sheeting or something.
Yeah. There you go.
That would also work. What a weird time.
I know. So much stuff, like, at least here, like this. I'm not made of money. I don't know where Jamie is, but you're living the sweet life, probably. Where it's
Or like have really come to reality with the fact that plywood's not cheap.
Or like PCP or whatever it's called. I think that's a drug. Actually.
PCP, yeah, I'm sure that's not cheap either.
Yeah, I don't know. But what is that? What am I thinking about? MDF?
Oh, you mean like OSB?
There we go. I knew it was like some letters. I don't know. Alphabet soup. So.
Yeah, that's not cheap either anymore.
No? Okay. Oh, also, just like a kid's swimming pool for mixing concrete.
That would also work.
Yeah, those are $10. There.
They're 5 feet in diameter, so make sure they can fit them in your car.
Yeah, we've done that where it doesn't fit.
To put in my dad's van.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, you can't fit in the car.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how normal people get them home like with cars.
I think they put them on top. Just like when you get your like.
I guess strap them to
Christmas
the
tree
roof of your
home.
car.
Yeah.
Or like fold like a taco shell and throw it in the back seat.
No, it'll crack and break. Then it won't hold water.
Heat it up and then put it in the.
Oh, funny. All right. What else? It's almost done. You only have like a couple minutes. What do you want to tell us? This is really funny.
I want to tell you.
PCP might be cheaper than OCP.
Very likely.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
There you go. He's in Australia. See?
Yeah. But it's never been cheap. So it's still more expensive there in Australia. That's too bad.
So then, there you go. Plywood.
No, it was expensive in Australia.
Everybody's used to it.
Oh, so it's used to it. You're like, you already have that. It's fine. You're already into it. So. All right, what's the plan for this weekend?
I don't know. It's a weekend. I'm going to take a nap.
Take a nap.
Are we doing something?
My parents are here.
I have to go mow the lawn.
At the other house?
At the other house.
Oh, my. Have to. You'll probably like bring your thing. It'll be done in like 10 seconds.
I'm thinking about it actually. It will be done in like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a good question.
Versus an hour.
From Glenn. How's the diesel tank going? Did you cut it off or
it's
not?
locked.
Did you cut it?
No.
I actually watched and listened, which I don't normally do for you.
Why are you listening?
I don't know.
Your brain okay?
I listened to your stories. I turned on the sound and I was like,
Since when?
I don't know, I just did it.
What prompted you to listen to that one?
I don't know. I was probably listening to other people's and then I listened to yours.
There you go. Yeah. yeah. The tank is to like look inside to like see like if it was like full of crap or something. Mm-hmm. Like, it's locked. There's literally a lock on here.
Is that normal or not normal?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was just normal and it was just like, well, obviously it's rusted to heck. They haven't used it.
I mean, I don't know who locks the tank on your own property. That's like way the heck back there. You can't get. Like, who's gonna come siphon it?
Is that what? I mean, I don't know.
Or who's gonna like drop something in it?
Is that why you lock it?
Or it's like 10 feet in the air and it's like you can't even climb up there.
Is that why you lock it though? To like avoid tampering / thievery?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why else would you lock it?
Like because it's required by OSHA or something silly like that because it's like
You
gasoline.
think some guy in his backyard is gonna comply with some regulations he probably doesn't know about?
First of all, the former owner was also an attorney, And he maybe did that.
I highly doubt that's a thing. Plus, OSHA only applies to like employees.
All right. Well, I don't do employment law, so I don't worry about it. So.
Which is what's funny. It was like, everyone's like, oh, you're doing something dangerous. Better watch out for OSHA. OSHA doesn't care about me.
They don't like you.
I'm just me by myself. It's when you ask someone else to take the risk. That's what actually matters.
Okay, so you're now an employment lawyer?
Yes.
Yes, you are? Okay.
You heard it here.
Heard it here, first one.
I went to law school via you.
Yeah, he always was like, I sent my proxy.
Yeah, I'm smart.
I'm smarter than the most. I sent a proxy to law school for me. That's true, though. Tony has an excellent point. Someone stole your wheel, so someone might steal your diesel. That is true. And whoever stole that wheel...
I think now that we actually live here, it'll be a little more obvious.
What are you talking about? This is not even an exaggeration. Like 3 days ago, our nanny and our kids were playing out in the field, like, you don't know where we're standing, but this side, not this side. And a bunch of people just showed up in our yard, and not like in the front, like they've walked quite a distance. And she was like, hello, what are you doing? And they were like, oh, we were here last night and we dropped our keys. And then they pulled keys out of the grass. I was like, who was on our yard last night?
Apparently it's like a public thing.
It was weird. There's a ballet across the street from us, and they were like, oh, we were here for the ballet, and we were playing like a Nerf war, gun war, and...
The way the hell back in our field?
And I was like, why are we playing it across the street and then in our field? Which also there is like a wooden, it's like not a keep out fence, but like a horse fence.
It's a keep in fence.
Yeah. He has a little horse fence stuff. So I was like, you had to have like either gone on our driveway and or jumped over this fence. It was weird. I don't know.
Just like you.
Just like me.
Because you're all like, I can walk on anybody's property I want.
Okay,
I can go jump on their trampoline whenever I want.
Matt doesn't like this, but I do still believe
See, they're just like you. See, this is what it's like
I believe
to be on the other side of the fence.
If I had a trampoline, I would. If they were jumping on a trampoline, okay. I believe that if you have a trampoline, that is an invitation to the world, and everyone is allowed to jump on your trampoline.
That's why you're the one like let's get a pool.
I would never.
Same reason.
I would never get a pool because everyone can. But I don't think that about pools. Well, sort of. But I definitely think that about trampolines. If you have a trampoline and I see it, know that I will be jumping on it.
I want to see you jump on a trampoline.
And my parents next door, they have a trampoline. I've jumped on it multiple times.
Okay.
But
we'll see.
I do know that not everyone agrees with me. But my mother believes
me.
Yeah, you. But my mom agrees with me. She also thinks trampolines belong to the world. Anyway, they weren't jumping on a trampoline, so I don't know what they're doing.
You're getting into like the personal injury segment.
I don't do that.
You do now. Like, just drop your little card next to all the trampolines.
No! I'll drop my friend's card. She does that. And she'd be very good.
Yeah, but this is a business opportunity for you.
I don't want to do that.
I don't care.
You should care what I want to do with my work. And it's not too personal injury, but it's just not my style. I also don't know the law. So
I don't want to do personal injury. Basically, I go out there and like, I injure you.
I don't want to go injure people. I don't want to be an enforcer.
You'd be okay at it.
I'd probably be okay. Right. It is true, though, there is like an attractive nuisance. And that's part of it. Like, attractive, like, it is part of that.
You know what else is an attractive nuisance?
What?
Your face.
Oh my god. All right, I should head out because although my parents are here.
Any real questions that we can answer?
Yeah, there was one. Where'd it go? It was really funny.
I'm not into hunting.
Yeah, Matt's to go hunting at night. Actually, out of the two of us, I'm the only one who's hunted.
Oh, here we go. It's one story again.
I've killed 2 deer in my life.
I went hunting when I was a child.
First of all, I was 16.
You were still a child.
Hunter safety.
You were a minor.
Yeah, you're allowed. That's legal.
I didn't say it was. You said you were a minor. That's how long ago it was. That was half your life ago.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't hunted since I was 17.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't really care about hunting.
Yeah, Matt's not a big hunter. Well, you've never hunted, actually, I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's just not your forte. And he doesn't need any more hobbies, to be honest.
I don't really. I mean, I had to go for a walk in the woods.
Yeah.
Like the part that appeals to me about hunting, just being outside.
Right.
I can do that
Without hunting.
without carrying stuff around.
Right. Oh my god. P.O. box to send you something. We don't have a P.O. box. Matt just gives everyone our address. That's probably why also people know where we are and then just take my wheel. Although I hope
I
that
don't know if that's what happened there.
I would be really sad if someone watched your videos as a person who took my wheel. And if so, please return it. And you're probably not watching this now because
I think that happened before we even made that known.
I know. So yeah, if you get Matt's newsletters, our address is on the bottom because it's required by law. You need to put an address, which honestly is a legal thing, so you can. That's why.
Don't assume we know.
No, it's so they know where to personally serve you. Anyway.
I know how it works.
From Andre, is happy hour the new norm or are shop dates ever coming back? Both are entertaining. That is a bone I pick with him.
You tell me that a lot.
I tell him all the time, do shop updates, do shop updates.
I have been in the shop, that's the problem.
And I say, you still have been doing stuff. You can do an update, you can still do viewer projects. This is an actual argument that we have.
I think honestly what happened with the shop updates is like I did them every week and it just became like a thing I dreaded.
Right.
Like honestly.
That's too bad because I liked them.
I mean, I liked them. I think I started doing them less structured or like.
You used to do it like every Monday they came out or something for a while.
Yeah, I would do it like on a certain day. I'm like, that's my whole day. And I realized like literally like that's all I did that day. Was one day a week was dedicated to producing that piece of content.
Right.
I'm like, that's a lot. When I could do other things. I don't know. It's not quick.
Yeah, I think the problem is it takes longer than it looks. Especially now that he does the viewer projects because he has to incorporate those in, and then he reads all the viewer projects, he looks into them, he does more than like just like says, and here it is. He's actually like goes to their website, looks at what they're doing. Yeah,
because it's like 4 to 5 hours to produce a shop update, something like that, and that's like basically the amount of time I have to work every day when you consider like the overhead of like answering questions, answering emails, responding to stuff.
So the outside of that stuff.
Yeah, because like most days I only have, on a good day I have 6 hours to work. Most days less than that because I'm doing other things. Whatever. So that's 20% of my week to produce one video.
But I do want him to do more because I personally like them as well.
So I was doing bi-weekly for a while. I think that worked out pretty well. If I start doing it again, I'll probably do that. But
he will because I'll probably bug him.
Well, the problem is too is like I'm like, oh, I should add more value to this. The more value I add to it, the longer it takes me to make it, the less I want to make it.
You don't like adding value. That's what I heard.
It adds so much more time to it. So it's like for a while, like I would like add like I did like mini videos. Like I did a little video on like that track saw holder. That added 2 hours to make to the production of that shop update. So that's a 6 hour thing.
That's all right.
It's okay. I'm just like, and that's it. That's a whole day.
Ooh, I like this question. Have you ever thought of doing a blooper video? I think you have.
I have not done. And I would do so poorly.
Really? Why? People don't like those?
No one would watch it.
I think people
Everyone
would.
thumbs it down. The true people who liked it. I would do it. I would produce it, and then like I would find some way to let people know about it, so the people who actually wanted to see it could see it. I think I've turned into this person like I avoid the hateful people so much now.
Yeah, you're being a little like that, like less daring when you used to be like. But
I still do this. I still do this show.
That's not necessarily true because you wouldn't do that. I was just to say you wouldn't do this because there's a bunch of people over here that are like, why don't you woodwork anymore? Which I sometimes join them in that complaint. But
yeah, why don't I? Be nice. This is real life.
But then you're like, yeah, but this is zero work because there is no production to this. It's sit down for an hour.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, like 15 minutes.
Yeah. So.
Which at the end of the week, because I'm like burned out by the end of the week anyway. So there's that, I guess.
Right. Well, anyway, you're coming off kind of crabby, so.
Well, I don't know. I got a little upset.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can be upset
Thinking about the glory.
Right. Probably because I honestly am probably the number one person who bugs them about Shop Update. And I do it.
You do. No one else has ever asked me about it.
Well.
Except you.
I'm right.
Because back in the day, when I did it, I would still get the comments from the haters who'd be like, how come we only do Shop Updates?
You'd be like, because all I know.
They can see what I'm doing. This is what's going on in the shop right now. This is the video I'm producing right now. The project that I'm working on or whatnot.
All right. Okay, I'm going to head up to see where they're at.
That's it. Let's call it.
You're going to come up with me at the same time? You've never done that.
Yeah, it's 10 after 5.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let's say this is your last question from Roger.
Okay, Roger. Got it?
First of all, no. I'm going to say this from Fred because it'll make you feel
balloon?
happy. I love everything you do.
Oh, that's nice.
That actually is probably going to make him so happy.
That actually makes you want to do things.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like why I do these things.
I know.
So the people who actually like them.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to like remember that.
Yeah, Fred likes you. He's a good dude. I can tell. All right.
Fred's got a good name.
He's got a good name. All right, from Roger. Probably been asked 1,000 times, but I know nothing will last forever. But what's the best and longest lasting finish for outdoor furniture you've found?
The best, longest lasting finish is going to be Fanes with the CPs for your base coat. It's also going to be the most heinous to reach. So you got to choose your battles. On the outdoor garden bench, we used an oil product, so it's easy to refresh because there's a lot of like inside corners and like nooks and crannies and things, which would be terrible if you're trying to remove a film finish and refinish that. On the farmhouse table, that's got the CPS and Epiphanes, still looks good. The thing with that is the tabletop itself is sacrificial. The finish on it is. It's also super easy to refinish because it's big and flat. There's no like things to like sand around or whatever. So when it's time to refinish that, you just sand the whole tabletop and then apply a new coat of finish. So it really depends on the project, I think, and like how much work you're planning on having in the future when you have to refinish that, because you will have to refinish it.
All right. Some other people are saying nice things, so I'm going to read them to you really fast.
It's Nice Things Day.
Nice things. This is from Sawdust Factory. Have a great weekend. Thanks. That's nice.
That was nice.
All right. I really enjoy your videos, so keep making them, from Jeff. Brian says, have a great weekend. And you should too, Brian. And Glenn says, this is what very you, I think. Just do you, Matt. Which is, that's you.
I can do me.
And from Michael, we love you, man. I like that movie. Mostly because he wears Ugg boots. All right. Yeah, we support Matt. Love the content from Stingray. And have a good weekend with you. I like that we just calling my parents. And, oh, this is really nice. Matt is the reason I keep going on with my woodworking. See?
I need that.
All right. Now that your head is full of happiness,
I can enjoy my weekend.
now it's time for your belly to be full of happiness, because my mom has made ribs or something like that.
Yeah, country ribs.
That's right. Oh, this from Kyle. Matt and Lynn's are the reason I wake up every day. That nice thing.
Maybe pushing it a little bit.
So nice. Also from Clancy. Screw the haters, Matt. You always have great videos and very informative. Oh, I like that. That's nice.
I try. It's hard. It's
You're
hard,
a
but
really
I
good
try.
answer. Matt can do everything. Mark can just do it better.
That's true. He can.
I love it. All right.
So I mean, that's how it works.
Well, Minnesota is the best state.
I'm like basically like implying that he's elitist.
Is that what people think about Denver people?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
You just made that up. All right, from Gary.
You heard it here first.
Gosh, that's not a thing you want to start. That's mean. I have family in Denver. All right.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. My aunt.
Which
She doesn't
one?
live there. And my cousin lived there. Joel lives there. All right, no one needs to hear about where my cousins live. All right. Oh, this is, I'm going to pretend it's to me, but it's probably you. You look very beautiful today.
I need that haircut we talked about last week.
Thank you for the content, and I aspire to be like Matt, hat and all, hair and all. All right.
That it's a lot of hair. It's a lot.
All right. And happy weekend.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
All right.
Maybe get some time to shop if that's your shop time. I'm
Yeah.
gonna mow some more lawns.
Oh my God.
Mostly my own. The other house.
I know, but I feel like you're going around the neighborhood going like, do you need you guys too? I'll do you too.
I mean, like for like old time's sake, you know.
Oh yeah.
When I used to go around with the snowblower, now I have a giant lawnmower.
Yeah, you're like, I want to do
Might as well
everybody.
do everybody's yard.
All right. Until next time. See you later.